Hey Trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXD Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. In light of recent comments made by Noah Lyles, the Jamaican track public have literally been set ablaze. Yes, Noah Lyles struck a match on the ground, put it under her ass, and now there's one whole hoorah online as it relates to Jamaicans and their reactions to what it seems as though Noah Lyles may have had disseminated to him by his girlfriend, the Jamaican Janelle Bromfield. But Chuckies, I'm not going to be focusing on that. I want to focus on something else because he did also say something that let a lot of people, a lot of Jamaicans' ears perk up during this conversation that he had on the podcast. And I'm going to play a little snippet of that section. I played it already, but I'm going to play it again because different context, different conversations. So I just want to, zone in on that particular moment. Take a listen, and then I'm going to get back with the rest of my thoughts.
And when we were in the interview and they said how fast he run, I said I hope he stays injured because I know that he's had a hard history with injuries, and that every time he runs fast, he usually has to be taken off because he usually hurt. So the fact that he was able to keep going is like, oh, this is great. He's actually being able to show his full potential.
All right, so Chuck is there. You heard Noah Lyles. He said, I hope he stays injured. Now, when a lot of persons, Jamaicans in question, heard, him say that, they're like, hold up, hold up, hold up. What's happening here? Noah Lyles is hoping for Kishane to remain injured. And then there, the Americans that came to Noah Lyles in his defense saying clearly he misspoke in this moment, right? So that is what the Americans had to say. But interestingly for me, Track is, I heard Noah Lyles speak about, this Kishin and, injuries before this. And I'm not going to lie to you, honestly, what he said in this podcast to me sounds no different from what he's already said in the past. So I'm going to play another snippet and then I'm going to get back with the rest of my commentary.
Does knowing that the Jamaicans are kind of turning up at their trials right now, does that amp you up a little bit?
Shoot, I want to see what they do.
Well,
I'm trying to see something.
You want to know?
What, did they already start running?
Yeah, because Shane Thompson ran 9.82 in the 100 meets.
All right, nice. Let's hope he stays healthy.
All right, so in that final snippet, you heard Noah Lyles say, let's hope he stays healthy. But for me, Track is, there's absolutely no difference between him saying, I hope he stays injured or I hope he stays healthy. Because when he said that, I hope he stays healthy, I hope y'all were watching his mannerisms, and context for me definitely matters, which is why I'm playing the snippet for you all to understand where I'm coming from. When he said that, he was clearly being very much sarcastic, in my opinion, given the fact that he already knew, based on his own admissions, how injury prone the likes of a Kishane Thompson gets. So he pretty much mockingly was like, I hope he stays healthy, not hoping that indeed Kishane Thompson stays healthy, but saying, hey, I know this dude breaks down every 5 seconds. So more than likely he's going to break down again, after this particular run. He wasn't hoping that Kishane Thompson would stay healthy so that he could go to Paris and, live up to expectations. In my opinion, that was not what I got. So coming to this most recent podcast and hearing him say, I hope he stays injured, literally didn't phase me in any kind of way, because that was literally the vibe I got when he said it the first time around, or when he said, let's hope he stays healthy, because I took that sarcastically. I didn't take that as him wishing Kishane Thompson well. He very much said that in a sarcastic tone, right? So given the fact that no, he's saying, I hope he stays injured. Clearly, he could have also misspoke, Trackies. That's a possibility. But in light of my opinions, based on what I gathered from the first time around, Trackies, I don't think that this was, him misspeaking in this particular moment. I definitely think this is what he meant. What does this mean essentially? Right? Clearly, it goes back to, the thought process that, hey, he's very, very weary, right? He's very, very weary of a Kishane Thompson, and Kishane Thompson to him is possibly the biggest threat, because you hear him talk about, athletes and their preparation in previous years and how they pretty much approach, games, and how they pretty much perform as well at these games. He's talked about an Oblique Seville. He wasn't phased by Oblique Seville defeating him. Oblique Seville ran a 9.82 to defeat him, but he wasn't phased. Right, coming out of that, he was like, I know how Oblique Seville gets when he gets to championships, right? He's not a championship man. He's not a championship performer. So he certainly was not phased by an Oblique Seville, because mentally in his mind at least, he has Oblique Civil defeated once we get to a major championships. And we all know, Chuck, is that it's a different ball game running on the circuit versus running in a championship. The pressure is a whole other league, right? There's no questions about that. And so far, Oblique hasn't really lived up to expectations, you would say, on the global stage. So Noah Lyles pretty much wasn't phased by an Oblique Civil, and possibly right now isn't even considering him a major threat. Who he's really wary of, track is a Kishane Thompson, because one, when you take a look at a Kishane Thompson and his mannerisms as well, he's the type of athlete, track that doesn't get phased by anything, right? He knows what he's capable of. He talked about knowing how fast he could run. When he was interviewed, he was asked, "Hey, do you even realize what you're doing?" And he said, "Yes. I already know this. I know what I'm capable of, right? I've been putting the work in." So nothing pretty much phases the likes of a Kishane Thompson. But the only thing that is hanging over Kishane Thompson's head, possibly that could have him not perform the best of his capabilities or to the best of his capabilities, is the fact that in previous years, prior, even just months ago, actually just months ago, because we did hear Stephen Francis come out and say up to March, he was still struggling and they really got things sorted out around March, right? So in recent times, we know he has still been struggling with injuries, right? So in Noah Lyles' mind, as far as he's concerned, the only way to stop this particular beast that is coming out and potentially looks like it's ready to destroy is to hope that his injuries that have been affecting him over the years, that has been keeping him away from doing his best, flare up again. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the vibe that I got. Chuck is think about it. Noah Lyles is a hard worker. I did indicate to y'all that I'm not underestimating anyone going into Paris, even though I have my personal faves to walk away with medals, the Jamaicans. I'm not underestimating anybody, and I definitely know the type of athlete Noah Lyles is. He's definitely a championship performer, and he's also a hard working athlete as well. He will go back to the drawing board to get things right just so that he can take you down. But time, track is there's a Kishane Thompson that is well ahead of him, and this time around, I don't believe that there is any amount of hard work that Noah Lyles will be able to put in to take down what Kishane Thompson will be coming with at the Paris Olympic Games, and therein lies the issue, and therein lies why Noah Lyles is so wary of a Kishane Thompson. Because honestly, the only thing that can stop Kishane from absolutely dominating at the Paris Olympic Games is injury. That's literally the only thing. It's no one man, no one anybody can stop him, because he's absolutely unfazed by anything that has come before, because he knows exactly what he is capable of. But anyway, Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So, Noah Lyles says in an interview, I hope he stays injured in relation to a Kishane Thompson. For me, Trackies, this is the perspective I had when he initially said, let's hope he stays healthy, in that sarcastic tone. So honestly, I don't think we're hearing anything different here. It's just reworded or said in a different, manner, right? So that's my vibe there. But you also have the Americans that believe that, hey, he misspoke in this particular moment. What do you guys think? Is this a moment where, Noah Lyles misspoke? Or do you think, this is what you've always been hearing from the likes of Noah Lyles? Of course, like the video, Trackies, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.